Okay, so doing a video in a library, which means I'm gonna have to be, I'm not having to be quiet because I'm at one of the soundproof rooms, apparently soundproof, but I passed by one of them and they were sounding pretty loud from the outside, so I don't know how loud I can be in one of these. So mentally, just knowing I'm in the library, I'm gonna be being as quiet as possible, but I lost my plan for what I wanted to do with this video in the sense of I had a lot of plans for videos. I wanted to do I'm in a mood, I guess. There was one video I wanted to do where I was going to be putting another video about visualization, or using visualization in the sense of connecting to energy, or connecting to your energy, other people's, to spirit, and how visualizing helps tremendously with that. And I was going to be using that to go through the chakra system and clear that out, and I was going to be posting that on Check Your Chakras, like another video. And I also had video ideas for, I'm wanting to do readings eventually. Paid readings, or even just like starting off with free readings. And I'm going to have a 15-minute reading, 30-minute, and an hour. And the hour ones are never going to be free, because if I do a week of free readings and everybody just requests the hour ones, that would be interesting. But I was going to have like a 3-part video where of course I do the 15, 30, and an hour to just kind of visually show what that would even look like, but also put it into words what you'll be getting from those readings. So basically doing 15, 30, and an hour readings in the video and posting that in like a 3-part series thing, but also just structuring out how you could get a reading and all of that stuff. But up here, now in this space, and I feel like there is a shift in what I'm wanting to talk about, and I don't know. I guess that's what I'm going to be. There's still going to be me doing, like, I guess channeling, or feeling the surface of my energy, which is, I guess, the 15-minute reading, but which the 15 minutes is just feeling the surface of it. But I'm not going to go into that now. But I felt this coming to the library, and I feel a mixture of ways about this thing. For one part, I feel like, okay, this is pretty, I'm going to take that, because it's just on the ground sitting there. And another part of me feel like, okay, well, what if the owner comes back to this very spot looking for his thing, and it's gone? And then there was another part that said, well, what if a random person came and just found it like I did and took it? So I might as well just take it. And then there's another part that just took it. The other part took it. I'm going to channel this thing and see what this thing tells me. That's what this video is going to be. I'm receiving a lot of unexpected things lately, and that can somewhat on the surface feel like things aren't working out according to plan, but everything is working according to plan, but just in unexpected ways. And I think this butterfly, which also has there's another side of this thing too, has a lot of symbology, because it's 444 on my phone. You see? 444. As I was talking, well, what I was going to mention first, focus. This butterfly has a lot of symbology to me, because I had 2 good friends of mine just released a book that I will show you now. Hey, look at the first thing on my Instagram page. That's Scared to Be a Butterfly. And if you just go to those 2 people right there, focus, Good Vibe Delivery, focus, Good Vibes Delivery, and Creative Learning New York, NY, and go into their links, you can, this isn't a plug, okay, I actually found this on the ground. I didn't just buy this to plug the thing, but the butterfly reminded me of the book, and that book you could go get yourself, but the book that it reminded me of is Scared to be a Butterfly, Coming into Your True Self. And my point is, I'm liking this post, but my point is, trying to work on not saying so much. My point, coming into your true self. Seems like an expected journey. I was talking, or I guess more listening to how people internalize, a couple of people internalize the spiritual journey and how they've seen others online talk about it. And it's always an experience of, you do this and it looks this certain way, and it's really easy to expect it to look a certain way, but there's no expectations that you get out of this. I mean, in this room, I'm sitting in a, let me show you here. I could do this without, this is the wrong way. Do this without unplugging the cord. I'm at a desk right now. That's supposed to be for at least 10 people, and here I am, one person. There's a whiteboard over there, and TV over there I could do something with. But this is the room that I'm in. There's a cool view. It's not a room I expected. I expected, to get, I mean, it's not bad, but I'm just one person. Why do I need 10 seats? 8 seats. But there's something about expectations and receiving something here. But I'm gonna stop rambling. I'm just actually, I think this is good to do right now. Just kind of ramble the thoughts that are on the surface of what I'm thinking. Because at first coming into this pressing record, I didn't think I thought anything. Or I didn't think I was thinking anything. I just felt calmness, but still felt nothing. So it's good to be letting stuff come to the surface and think about what I'm actually feeling. So I'm gonna channel this thing, and I wish there was a way to just keep it here. Okay. This is butterfly charm thing. How does that relate to what's being presented to me so far within my present experience? First thing that comes to me is the image of me. I should not be touching my face after touching that. I found it on the ground, but nice. But anyways, I'm seeing an image of me on a really tiny boat on a surface of water, in a large body of water, like basically the ocean, and I'm just floating on the surface. I guess feeling out the surface, and it's the surface of energy. I know I mentioned that earlier, like in the 15-minute readings, that being the main point of what I'd be feeling into within those readings, feeling what's on the surface. And this is where I'm in this image, becoming content staying in the surface and not going any much deeper than that. But in this image, I'm also seeing, imagine being on a really small boat, just swaying on the surface of the water, pretty chill, and you look down and there's just a huge shape coming up towards your boat. You would be terrifying. But what's coming up to the surface, and this thing is just a representation of my energy, what's coming to the surface of my energy, something that seems scary, but I can feel enough to know that it's not something to be afraid of. If anything, it's something that's bringing a lot of love with it. So what comes to the surface? Okay. So I had a dream. Shout out Michael, Creative Learning, NY, New York. on Instagram. Scared to be a Butterfly, out now. Shout out Michael. I told him about this dream about, to put simply, I had a dream that I bought a king cobra, and when I bought it home, I realized how dumb of a decision that was, because why would someone want to own a king cobra? And it's like you go to a carnival and see a lion, and it's like, man, that's really cool. I'm gonna get that thing, you buy it, you bring it home, and you don't have any cage for it or anything, it's just roaming out. And you realize, that was a pretty dumb idea. So that's what the dream was. Well, what was going on in the dream was, I had this king cobra. It was trying to strike at me almost the whole dream, so I kept trying to contain it under a plastic bin or in a cage. And I wanted to go out and resell it or give it away or do whatever I could to get it away from me. But it was hard to contain this thing because it kept getting out. But Michael is a dream interpreter, a dream detective, and this dream was a representation of my struggle with pornography, porn addiction, or letting go of the habit of porn, all of those things. And this king cobra was a representation of, porn. But why I bring this up is because what comes to the surface in this image is a giant white king cobra, which in my dream, it wasn't as giant as this king cobra. It wasn't the size of like a hunchback whale, but it was a big king cobra that was all white. And in this image, a huge king cobra just comes to the surface, and again, terrifying, but not terrifying. And in this image, it's not representing porn. It's representing, it's coming up from my own energy. So what could you interpret that as? This king cobra being myself, an aspect of me. I am the king cobra, and the king cobra is I. That day when he was, I think before he gave me the initial reading, I looked up a bit about snake symbology within spirituality, and even heard someone not even a few days, like recently, bring up again snake symbology. Shout out Abby Normal. In one of her videos, she brought up snakes, the symbology of them, and them being rebirths and representing life force. And if I correlate this to what I'm feeling now about having like somewhat of a new experiences, but not them being in the way I expect them to be, or just not expecting who I am now and who I'm changing into, or who I've grown into, who I'm becoming born into within this rebirth. Not it being what I expected, but what did I even expect? Because there was a point in my life where I was going into things without expecting anything, because I was pretty confident in knowing, okay, I don't know what this will look like, but I know that it's going to be something great. But I guess what's paralleling these two situations is that it's not only something I didn't expect, which is not the issue here, but it's how I'm feeling. And this thing comes back into mind, it comes into the image, and it's making me think of this little butterfly coming out of its cocoon, but not accepting who it is. The first ever caterpillar to have its transition into a butterfly, what did it expect in that situation? Did it know, like have an inner knowing of exactly what it would come out to be, exact knowing that it would be able to fly? What if the caterpillar thought that it would come out of the cocoon as a spider and be this really amazing creator of design and be able to create amazing webs, but then it came out as something as fragile as a butterfly that doesn't really have any defenses for itself except to look flashy with pretty wings, which is still cool. Like, the transition of the caterpillar to butterfly is still cool, but did the caterpillar expect that? didn't have that knowing that that's how its metamorphosis would be. And I guess I'm wondering if my metamorphosis in this image with the King Cobra, did I metamorph? Did I change, evolve into a white giant King Cobra? Or this dissemination is just, I guess in this scenario I am the butterfly now, but I'm coming to terms with how I'm even feeling about being this butterfly, or a butterfly that maybe I expected to be something else, or maybe I expected to be a butterfly that's in a way different than what it's showing me now, but, or what I am now, like I expected to be a butterfly, but maybe like different, like this, or, but how can you expect things when I didn't have expectations before, or maybe I'm just learning how to be what I am, or come to terms with, this the whole thing is just like about embracing your true self. And how do you even do that? What does that even mean? What does it mean to embrace what you are? What does it mean for the caterpillar to see who it is? That it didn't get to turn into a spider or something super venomous that could kill people, like without it being eaten. Like, cool, I mean, the thing that just ate me died or got really sick, but I still lost my life for it. Like, that's the only superpower butterflies have. Instead, I could have like came out biting people and like being able to fight back. But the caterpillar, how did it become content with being a butterfly? I guess that is just embracing who you are. And embracing the true gifts that you have, which a butterfly obviously does have a lot of gifts. It can fly. And I guess where I'm at now is in between having this thing actually come to the surface, an emanation of what I am, or this thing, life force, whatever a snake represents within this image, which is like reminding me of life force and rebirth and my higher self coming to the surface, actually coming to the surface and being face to face with me, ready for me to emanate what that is. It's waiting on me to make that choice to step forward and just emanate that thing or embrace it. But that has to be my choice. It has to be my choice. And if I don't choose, if I just allow myself to feel like, this is not what I expected, so I'm just going to sit here and stare, then of course I'm going to feel nothing. Like, I'm not going to exactly feel how I used to back then, but I'm going to be in a place where that feels somewhat stuck. So I have the power to choose, or choose to be. I have the power to choose to be. And I don't exactly know what time this room ends, but I think I want to end this video here and start on another one. I'm going to end this before I check the time, but I'm going to leave it there. That's what I'm feeling, share to say, and let that resonate. It's always a different experience doing these for myself in the moment, because whenever I do it for other people, it's like, man, that's good. Thank you for watching. But for me, it's like I'm having to sit with it and just think about it. But if I did that on camera, this would go on for like another 5 minutes. So, again, always thank you for watching. I love recording from my laptop. I'm glad that I started transitioning to this. And take care.